everybody, this is the Love Yourself Guru, and welcome to the Love Yourself TV, and welcome to day 19 of Ramadan 2022 with the Guru. And today's word is read. We're going to be taking a closer look at, God willing, the benefits of reading and how to integrate it into our life this Ramadan and the rest of our lives, God willing. And you're probably thinking, why did the Guru bring up reading Ramadan? Well, I think that I've said before that Ramadan is like a boot camp. It's where you really, take a closer look at your life and you start to integrate things where, God willing, that will benefit you and lift you up, and let go of things that just really don't work for you. And reading is one thing that really lifts you up. Reading, when you read, you increase in knowledge, and then you increase in understanding, and your communication skills get much better, and therefore the level of your living increases. And a decline of reading, when you don't read, a decline of reading means a decrease in knowledge, and a decrease really in understanding and communication skills, and a decrease in the level of living. So reading really lifts you up, because you're exposed to new words, you're exposed to new ideas, you're exposed to possibilities. Honestly, the amount of knowledge that's out there is limitless. And when you don't read, really you're limiting yourself, you're limiting your vocabulary, you're limiting your ideas, you're just limiting yourself. So reading really opens up possibilities. So let's begin. If you look at the word read in the dictionary, it says the definition is have the ability to look at and comprehend the meaning of written or printed matter. And if you go into Google and you actually look up the benefits of reading, you'll find so many studies out there. Now, these are short videos, so I couldn't go into all the studies, but there are so many universities and studies and research that have done benefits of reading. It's absolutely amazing. And I've just written 10 of these scientific benefits of reading. Number one, I'm going to go through it with you. Number one, it makes you smarter. Number two, more creative. Number three, happier. Number four, more empathetic. Number five, reduces stress. Number six, protects your memory. That's a really good one. Number seven, can help prevent Alzheimer's. Number eight, improves school performance. Number nine, improves your math skills. And number 11, reading to children improves their vocabulary. So reading is just, honestly, it improves your life in so many ways, in so many ways. Now, let's bring this back to Ramadan. Now, I'm not a scholar, and I'm not a spiritual teacher. I'm the Love Yourself Guru, and my degree's in psychology. And I talk about, God willing, how to understand your mind, how to love yourself, and, God willing, how to live a beautiful life. I believe it's possible that all of us live a beautiful life, and my Creator is at the heart of everything I do. And so that's my message. But I'm not a scholar, and I'm not a spiritual teacher, but it is just something to reflect on. And I find it amazing that the first revealed verses of the Quran are the first 5 verses of Surah Al-Alaq. Okay, so the first verses that were revealed to our Prophet, blessings be upon him, were the first 5 verses of Surah Al-Alaq, and I'm just going to read them out to you. Okay, so Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. This is the first 5 verses that were ever revealed. Okay, no, Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Read in the name of thy sustainer, who has created man out of a germ cell. Read, for thy sustainer is the most bountiful one, who has taught man the use of the pen, and taught man what he did not know. So read in verses 1 and 3. Read. The first word that was brought down to us was read. It's just something to reflect on. It really is something to reflect on. And verse 5 that I love, taught man what he did not know. And isn't that what reading is all about? You know what you don't know. Isn't that amazing? And isn't our whole journey here about increasing in knowledge and increasing in learning? Isn't that what it's all about? It's all about, honestly, I promise you, the happiness comes when you increase knowledge, is when you learn. That really brings as humans, that really brings you joy, because you're growing, because you're progressing in life. So when you read, you know what you didn't know. And what I found is that the more you read, the more you're learning, right? And the more you learn, the more you read and learn, the more you know that you don't know. So the more you read, the more you learn, the more you know that there's so much knowledge. Like, God is so great. There's so much out there to learn that honestly, we don't know anything. It's just like tip of the iceberg. And that humbles you, and you want to learn more and grow more, God willing. But the more you don't read, the more you don't know, the more you think you know. And then it takes you to places that are not going to benefit you, because you're not open to new ideas, you're not open to new possibilities, you're not open, you become quite rigid in the way you think. And maybe sometimes a little bit arrogant. It's either your way or the highway. But when you read and you learn and you understand and you know that, this, however much you learn, there's so much more to learn. You're on this journey where you're a student your whole life. It's absolutely beautiful. So reading is a must. Now let's bring this back to Ramadan. God willing. So, like I said, the first verse that was revealed, and like I said, I'm not a scholar, but it's just something to ponder on, was read. Read in the name of thy sustainer. To read, for thy sustainer is the most bountiful one. Read. So that's just something to reflect on. And the way I see it is that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, our creator, created us. Okay, so Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala created our whole composition. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala knows what's good and what's not good, like what works for us and what doesn't work for us. And obviously, if like reading obviously works for us, like we need reading. Like Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, he could have said write, or he could have said eat, or he could have said sleep or walk. It could have been another verb, but it wasn't. It was read. So obviously, as human beings, for us to grow, because our whole existence here is about growing, it's about progressing. And you find that people that aren't happy, they think it's because of material things or other things. It's not. It's because there's a lack of progression. So in order for us to progress, we need to read. So number one, to acknowledge that reading, it benefits us, and it's a must in our lives. Number two is Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala's book. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala's book, the Quran Kareem, is a miracle. It's just a miracle, and a miracle that sadly is often just sat on our shelves. And the Quran is sat on our shelves, and they're our Creator's words. Like our Creator, who created the whole world, like all the countries and all the people and the heavens and Mars and Jupiter and the stars, and we don't even know, honestly, we don't know anything. These are our Creator's words. So it's only logic that our Creator's book, the Quran Kareem, should be part of our lives, right? Okay, and this is how I see the Quran Kareem. This is how I see the Quran Kareem as three things. And like I said, I'm not a scholar, this is just me. Number one, as a guide. It's like a guide. Like Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala didn't just put us down here in this world and say, cope with it. No. It was right. This is the world. This is the story of all the prophets before you. This is what happened. This is the history. This is what to do. This is what not to do. It's all and everything. Everything's in the book. So it's like a guide. Number two, it's you're reading Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, our Creator's words. So you're getting to know your Creator. It's a bonding experience between you and Creator, because you're reading your Creator's words. So that's number two, to getting to know your Creator. And number three is that it protects you. So do you remember how I said there was a video, I think it was on beliefs, and I said that in the world there are always two opposites. There's good, there's bad, there's negative, there's positive, there's happy, there's sad. So there are positive things and there are negative things in the world. When you love yourself, it's not that you're not aware of them, but you know how to protect yourself from them. You know how to move to the positive things. And so an awareness that there's always positive and negative, the Quran Kareem, our book, protects you from the negative. So it's just protects you. You read it, you're protected, God willing, from the negative. And tried and tested, when I don't read, like, so for instance, when I go off track, yes, I go off track and I don't read, I know, I feel it, my soul feels that I've exposed myself to the negative part of life. I become a bit dimmer, my soul becomes dimmer, I become sadder, it just doesn't work for me. It doesn't work for me. So reading the Quran is a form of protection. It protects you from the negative things in life. So just, why don't this Ramadan we start reading, God willing? We start reading. So for instance, like I said in the last video, little things every day, little choices every day, over time they grow. And so if we start, for instance, reading a little bit, let's say 10 minutes a day, God willing, 10 minutes a day for the intention of protection, God willing. And then, God willing, 10 minutes a day or 5 minutes a day with the intention of getting to know your Creator, just reading your Creator's word and getting to know your Creator and getting to know the guidelines of how to live. By next Ramadan, what's that, 15 minutes, 20 minutes? If you want, bring it down 7 minutes until you build yourself up. By next Ramadan, God willing, you build such an amazing bond with your Creator because you're reading His words. And number two, you'll feel that you're being protected, that your Creator's words are protected you. It's just another way of living. It's so beautiful. It's a beautiful way. So really, this Ramadan, God willing, start to get the Quran off the shelf and start to make it a daily practice to open Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala's words and to benefit from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala's word and to bond with our Creator. Okay, so that's the second thing to do in Ramadan. So the first thing is to acknowledge that reading will increase it. Human beings, we need reading for progression. Number two is to start to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala's book, the Quran Kareem, start to integrate it into our lives, start to build that bond with our Creator by getting to know our Creator and reading the book to protect us, God willing. Number three is start reading, for instance, just a couple of minutes a day, start reading a topic, let's say. So choose a topic every month, and just for a couple of days, minutes every day, just read about that topic. Start reading books about that topic, just a couple of 2 or 3 pages a day. So by next year, God willing, by next Ramadan, you would have read about 12 topics, like 12, for instance, psychology, sports, whatever you want, business, but you would have had 12 topics and you would have increased in knowledge so much. So just really start to just a couple of pages a day to start reading about different topics. Start opening your life and open yourself to different words, to different ideas, to different possibilities. God willing. And the last one is to start to get to our children start reading. Really, all of us really start in our households. All of us make reading a habit. So God willing, we can increase in knowledge, God willing, increase in understanding, God willing, get better communication skills, God willing, and increase our level of living. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I pray that your days are filled with beautiful words, and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, our Creator's words, protect you and protect the whole of humanity. Have a beautiful, brilliant, absolutely amazing day.